welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up 41 is on the screen. Let's get started, please. By now, you guys should be experts at those 5 problems. I'll give you guys some time. Copy and go. Make sure you finish up. All right. Get this show on the road. Show your neighbor what you got for your warm-up so far, where you're at. See what they got. But being Thursday, by now they should have already been at least on number 4 by now. At least. Carlos. All right. Here we go, number 1. Since you're already talking with your neighbor, we're going to have Gio guide us through that one. So, Gio, what do I do? He said you take the negative and distribute to the second polynomial. So you end up with negative 9x to the 4th, negative 2x to the 3rd, and negative 8. Once you distribute, you bring the first polynomial down without the parentheses. Continue, Gio. What do I do from there? He said you combine 2x to the 4th and minus 9x to the 4th, and that gives us what, Gio? Negative 7x to the 4th. What do I do next? Combine negative 4x cubed with negative 2x cubed. So negative 4 and negative 2 is negative 6x cubed. And last but not least, bring down the constant, which is negative 8, and we are done. Hands if you got that by yourself. Okay, good. Go to number 2. Yes, but give me a second. Show your neighbor number 2, see what you got, and then Gio's going to pass it to someone. Number 2. All right, Gio, pass someone. No, hold on. Guide us through the process. All right, and then? So, a line and through the middle like that. Okay. So, 3x times 5x cubed. 3x times 4x. And 3x times 7. All right. Negative 2 times all of these. All right. Combine like terms. We'll start with the highest degree. Because you combine these right here, you said plus 13x. And if you got that by yourself, that is correct. Not bad, not bad. go to number 3. Tell your neighbor what you got for number 3. And then we're going to have, we'll pass it to someone else. Miguel, what do I do? Before that? Okay. Divide by 2. That leaves us x squared minus 4x minus 12. Now the Power Ranger method. Negative 12, negative 4. Factors of negative 12 that add up to negative 4. Miguel. Negative 6 and 2. So my factors are the 2 by itself, this one, and then parentheses x minus 6, x plus 2. Hands if you got that by yourself. All right, good. Let's go to number 4. Tell your neighbor what to do with number 4. Show them your work, and then Miguel's going to pass them one. Eileen, what do I do when we have a polynomial with 4 terms? What do I ask you guys to do? Uh-huh. Okay, and then you put a little plus sign in between. There it is. All right, next. Start with the letter G. Be nice. GCF. What's our GCF for these two? 5. What else do both of them have in common? X, and both of them should have at least 3 of them, so x to the 3rd. So that leaves us with x plus 15 divided by 5, that's 3, and we took out the x cubed, okay? How about GCF for these two? Negative 3, and that leaves us with x plus 3. So, with that said, what is our first factor? What? X plus 3. This one with this one. And what's our second factor? Five x to the 3rd minus 3. That is correct. Hands if you got that. Yes? All right. And last but not least, the graphs. Show your neighbor your graphs. See what they look like. Once again, I'm not going to go over this one just for the sake of time. I want us to get to some practice problems. All right. So, copy the agenda. Warm-up number 41 done. Dividing polynomials. Tonight's home play, numbers 11 through 19, odds only. Odds only. All right. So, copy this code to access the home play for tonight. Code 3Q52E. Write that down. 3Q52E. Write that down. 3Q52E. And if that code doesn't work, tell your neighbor where to go to get the home play. Yeah, to your YouTube channel. Bye. All right, we good? All right, so last time, before we got to yesterday, our mini day with our pop party, I left you guys this practice, and you guys did odds. Is that correct? All right. What's that? Yeah, you did evens the first day and odds the second. But I didn't collect both. I collected just one. All right? From there, tonight is going to be these odds only. There they are. Now, the reason I'm giving more time to practice, because I notice, or should I say, I sense a disturbance in the force when I was going through the pop party. I still haven't finished correcting, but I did sense some of you are still having issues with a couple of things, so I want to clarify that. On your paper, write this down, please. Multiplication versus combination, which is known as addition. Bless you. All right, so let's clarify this. I'm going to multiply first two polynomials. Y'all ready? Here it goes. 3x squared times 4x squared. Write that down. Whenever we're multiplying, even though there might not be a sign, but I say multiply this times that, this is what I mean. Look up, please. So how do you multiply these, Mr. Q? Numbers times numbers. So 3 times 4 is 12. Variables times variables. And that becomes x. But look what happens to the exponents. Look up. To the fourth. Now some of you are like, oh, you multiply the exponents, Mr. Q? No. The exponents, look up. This one and this one, you add the exponents. Add the exponents. Some of you are getting confused with this when we're doing the long division. Trying to clarify that. Once again, for multiplication, you multiply the numbers, and the variables, when you multiply them, what happens to the exponent? You add them. All right. So with that said, here goes another one. 5x to the third times 6x to the third. Do that one by yourself really quick, just to clarify, make sure we got it. Show your neighbor what you got for that. What'd you get for that? Show your neighbor. All right, you showed your neighbor, yes? All right. All right, let's go with Sule. What'd you get, Sule, for that one? 30x to the 6. Hands if you got 30x to the 6. That is correct. So basically, 5 times 6, that's 30. X to the third times x to the third, we add the exponents, and that gives us x to the 6. Okay. Let's go with combination or addition. Start, and I'm going to change this. Instead of being multiplication, I'm going to write 3x to the second plus 4x to the second. Write that down, please. As a matter of fact, let me change color for that one. I'm going to use green. Woo. Love technology. Let's go. All right, here we go. For combination, whenever we say combine like terms, look up to the screen. When we say combine like terms, means that they have the exact same variable with the exact same exponent. That's the only way that this is going to work. So what does this become, Mr. Q? Well, you combine by making the x squares only 1, because they're the same kind. And all you have to do is add the two numbers. What is 3 plus 7? 3 plus 4, that is 7. Once again, that only works if the variables have the exact same exponent. So, yeah, the exponents have to be the same. Now, one way that I present this, guys, to my students, now this is Algebra 1, Algebra 2 stuff. This is how I present it. Look up. The way I present combination, I tell them I have a pet shop. In the pet shop, we only sell cats, dogs, and dolphins. You're like, what? Yes. Especially here in the valley. I sell cats, dogs, and dolphins. So cats, I label them X squares. So how many cats did I have first? 3 of them. And how many more? 4. How many total cats? 7. So instead of saying cats, I wrote X squared. It's just a symbol. Does that make sense? Whereas, if I say, check this out, 5x cubed, I'm talking about dogs, plus 6x cubed. How many total dogs do I have, everyone? 11 dogs, or 11x cubed. Write that down. Write it down, please. Once again, when is the only time that we can combine the two numbers? When the exponents on the variables are the exact same variable with the exact same exponent. Say that again. For multiplication, it just has to be the same variable, not the same exponent. Yeah. So now let's clarify addition a little bit more. Look up. What if I did this? And I said, I have 2 cats, and I want to add 4 dogs. Oh, sorry. Dogs are x cubed. Okay. Question. Look up to the screen. These are cats, is that correct? These are dogs. Could I write 6x squared? No, because they are either cats or dogs, so this doesn't work. Could I write 6x cubed? No. So that means we can't do anything, Mr. Q? No, because they have to be the exact same variable with the exact same exponents. That's why we cannot combine them. Is that clarifying stuff? Yes, for some of us? All right. So that one's that. Let's go back to this one over here. Multiplication. Now, I heard someone say, Mr. Q, is that working the same for multiplication? Well, what if I had 7x squared times 5x to the 4th? Look up. What did I say? Numbers times numbers. Variables times variables. Is it the same variable? Yes, you write the variable. And what happens to the exponents if it's the same variable? You add them, so this is x to the 6th. Are we there? However, what if I had this? 7x squared times 5x to the, no, not x, my bad, times y to the 3rd. Does that work the same as this, Mr. Q? No, it does not. Only the numbers work. 7 times 5, that's 35. Can I combine the exponents of the x and the y? No. All you have to do is write them out. X squared, y cubed next to each other. Why? Because you can't combine them. Trying to clarify here, because we're going to be getting into some crazy stuff like this pretty soon, before I go any further. All right? Was that pretty clear? Yes? All right. So, with that said, last but not least, I want you to write division. Division. Eight x to the, give me a number, 7 over 2x to the, give me a number, 5. All right, here we go. For division, what is numbers divided by numbers? What is 8 divided by 2? 4. Now look what I'm going to do with the variables. They have to be the same kind of variable. Is it the same kind of variable? Yes. Look what happens to the numbers. Don't say anything. Look up. I got 7. I got 5. The answer is 2. Tell you there what happened. They subtract. That is correct. When we're dividing, they have to be the same variable. What happens to the exponents? They subtract. Let's do another one. 15 y to the 10th over 3 y to the 3. Answer, what is 15 divided by 3? 5. Are these the same variables? Yes. So therefore, what happens to the exponents? Subtract, so it's 7. All right. One more just to clarify. Here we go. How about 20x to the 5th over 4y to the 3rd? Once again, numbers with numbers do work. What is 20 divided by 4? 5. However, are these the same variables? No, those need to remain the same because we cannot do anything with those. So the only time that we can divide is when they have the same variable. Did that help clarify doubts? Yes? All right, so with that said, we're in the middle of dividing polynomials. So we already know what polynomials are. And this is the home plate for tonight. So we're going to do some practice today. Let's do let's do number 6. On your paper, write down problem number 6. Let me zoom in. We're doing long division. Number 6. All right. So let's go through our process to make sure we got it. That's the purpose of me going over this one more time together with you. Here goes. What is step 1, everyone, when we're doing long division? Check to see if it's what? Standard form. How do you check it? And this is something that I saw some of you skip, and therefore you made a mistake because you didn't do what I asked you to do. Bah. So circle the first part. What is the degree of 8 to the 2nd? 2. Circle the second part. What is the degree of that one? Does it have a variable? No, so then that is 0. Focus, please. What is it in standard form from highest to lowest? Yes. But is it missing something? It's missing the 1 in between 2 and 0. So put a 1 and box it. This is something I saw some of you miss repeatedly. Go to the second one. Degree for this one, 1. Degree for this one. Is it missing anything? No. All right. So step 1 done. Step 2, set up our division. Start off with the highest degree. Highest degree is 2, so we write 8 to the 2nd. Check off the number 2. What's the next degree? So hold on. First degree, is that correct? So we're missing, so I'm going to put plus 0 a to the first power. That's the one that was missing. That's why we boxed it. And then we check it off. What's next? 0 degrees, so that's minus 28. Divided by our divisor. What's our divisor? A minus 5. So here we go. Question. What number goes up here that when you multiply it times a gives me a squared? Just a. Well, let's see. What is a times a? What are the exponents on these? 1 and 1. So a are the same variable. There it is. What is 1 plus 1? 2. So it's a to the second. Next, a times negative 5. Remember, we're multiplying. A times negative 5, that's negative 5a. Draw the line across. Now let me show you another step that some of you skipped. Some of you are skipping doing this, subtraction. What did I ask you to do to that subtraction sign? Circle it. Even though it sounds elementary, guys, it makes sense once you're going fast and you're trying to finish your pop party. You circle it. Why did we circle it? To distribute the negative to both of these. Negative for this one and negative for this one becomes a positive. Some of you forgot that. So a squared minus a squared cancel. 0 plus 5 is 5a. Bring down the negative 28, which is our last term. And then we do the process again, the whole thing. What number times a gives me 5a? Positive 5. So 5 times a is 5a. 5 times negative 5, that's negative 25. And again, subtraction, and what I ask you to do, circle it to remember to distribute the negative here and here, which makes this a positive. So 5a minus 5a cancel. Negative 28 plus 25, that's negative 3 as a remainder. Answer. Well, the answer, we write that a plus 5, but if we have a remainder, what did I ask you to do? To write a plus, fraction bar, and the remainder, negative 3. What goes on the denominator? The a minus 5, the divisor, a minus 5. All right, let me send you the... All right, that was number 6. And for the last step, I just write, I went from setting up step number 2, number 3, we just do the division. Okay, so I want you to do number 10 by yourself. Number 10. Let me zoom in. There's number 10. And it reads, parentheses, 42x squared minus 33 divided by 7x plus 7. I'll give you a head start on that one. Very similar to the one we just did. There it is, number 10. Copy and go. All right, here we go. Step 1, you check for standard form. Is that correct? So, what is the degree of the first one? 2. What is the degree of this second term? 0, because there's no variable. We're missing first degree. Is that correct? So you write a 1 and you box it. This one, what is the degree of this one? 1, and this one? All right, let's set it up. Start with the second degree. 42x to the second. Check it off. Done. What was missing? The first degree. So we write plus 0x to the first degree. Check it off. Lastly, minus 33 divided by 7x minus 7. Plus 7. All right? From there, what number times 7x gives me 42x to the second? Correct answer was 6x. Hands if you got 6x. All right, so 6 times 7 is 42. X times x is x to the second. However, we have a second term. What is 6x times 7? That's positive 42x. Put a subtraction sign, and what did I ask you to do? Circle that to distribute here and here. This cancels. 0 minus 42 is negative 42x. Bring down the last term, negative 33. Last but not least, what number times 7x gives us negative 42x? Negative 6. Negative 6 times 7x is negative 42x. And negative 6 times 7, that's negative 42. Subtract. Circle your subtraction. Distribute here. This becomes a positive. Distribute here. Becomes a positive. This cancels. That leaves us with 42 minus 33. That is positive 9. Remainder. Hands if you got that. All right, some of us. So, what is our answer? Our answer is 6x minus 6. But since we have a remainder, we put plus, fraction bar, the remainder. And what is our divisor? 7x plus 7. Send that in. I want to see your work, please. All right, next. Let's go with number 1. Copy number 1, please. There's number 1. Let me zoom in. We got parentheses. No, we don't have homework. Nope. We never have homework. What? We have home play. Ooh. How about them apples, Julian? All right. You should be able to do this one completely by yourself if you follow the process. I'll give you a head start. Once again, it's 3 simple steps. Once again, we have m squared minus 7m minus 11 divided by m minus 8. So I'll give you a head start. Go. Very similar to number 1. Just follow the process, your steps. So, working on number 3. N squared plus 10n plus 18 divided by n plus 5. All right. Hands if you got it. All right, correct answer. Let me see. N plus 5 plus negative 7 over n plus 5. Yes? Let's go. All right, we'll stop right there. Those of you following on YouTube, make sure you go and do some practice. See you guys next time. Peace.